I've always been a huge proponent of coaching. I started real estate in 2007 and basically went broke. I mean, it sucked. Not very many closings. I really didn't. I mean, I liked working with clients and I liked the business in general, but I didn't like how hard it was. I mean, it was a difficult business. It required a lot of your time, and getting started sucked. So I was in real estate for, I think, for 2 years, and then I actually bought into a partnership, part of the brokerage, with two partners. In 2013, my partner and I separated. We both went our own way. I started my own brokerage. 14 of the agents came with me. They had the kind of the typical mindset of a normal real estate agent, and the team mentality wasn't there, and that's what I've always wanted to have. All the coaches I've worked with and all the people that I've seen really successful, they have a team approach. It's good for it's good for everybody. It's good for the agents. It's good for the brokerage. Everybody wins in a team approach. So it didn't work, and I've had a lot of issues with staffing. Not so much, like transaction coordinators or receptionists or anything like that, marketing coordinators. It was all just the agents. So 2013, when I started with Lars, I believe I had myself and two other agents. I was a listing specialist, and I had two buyer specialists. Basically, one of them was my brother-in-law, who's awesome, and one of them is another great guy. His name's Austin. But anyway, the main thing was with Lars is he got me going straight on a system to find new buyers agents and get our buyers business producing like the listing side was. So I was pretty good at listing properties. I mean, that was my specialty, and that's what I like to do. But the buyer side was, we weren't making any money. We literally weren't making any money with it. So it just didn't work. So Lars got me going the first step, and that's what I like best, I think, about Lars's website and the way everything's set up is it's step by step. You get your buyer system in place, and everything is methodically thought through. And Lars is big. This is my input. My opinion of Lars is he's really big on not spending money unless you get a return. And I have not found a coach yet that is that big on that. Most of the coaches are try this, try that, and they either haven't tried them themselves or they're going to have you be their guinea pig to find out if it works for them. So I love that about Lars, the fact that he's spot on. So fast forwarding now from 2013 when I started working with Lars, I've got 6 buyer specialists. 2 of the 3 have closed over $1 million already this year, and we're March 5th today, I believe it is, something like that. 2 of the 6 have closed over $1 million. 2 of them have only been licensed for a little over a couple months, and one of them's at $850,000, so he'll break $1 million here next week. So, and our average price point's $200,000, so we're not, $1 million market. It's not like they've got one closing. So, it works. I mean, as buyers, things work. We track them, we train them, and they're doing awesome. One thing that I really like is I'm out of the sales part of it now. My brother-in-law, who I talked about earlier, is doing the listings, and we have their 6 buyer specialists doing the buyers. And I had emergency back surgery not even 3 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago. And I was in pain for 2 months before that. I couldn't do anything. So prior to Lars and prior to those systems that he's showed us, I'd have been a train wreck. Nobody would have been doing the listing stuff. So it's been a godsend. People are actually running the business, not me. It's not dependent on me. In the last 3 months between the injury and the actual surgery has proven that we actually have a business that operates basically without me. I mean, they really did run the company for 2.5 or 3 months while I was down. So that's incredible. It's a completely different feeling in the morning when you get out of bed. So you can go do it because you want to, not because you have to. So, and I'd say we're 20% through Lars's systems. So we still have a huge amount of stuff to get into. So, and it's very methodical. It's step by step. And I've worked with a lot of coaches. I've never seen a coach that is so spot on with step by step and systems and procedures to grow your business. And I think it would work for anybody, whether they're a solo agent or even a team that's operating successfully. You're gonna grow. It's impossible that you aren't gonna grow.
Okay, you mentioned your production right now. How does that compare to before you reached out to Lars?
Right. Okay. So the first year in business, 2013, we're actually on my own company and actually separated from the partner. It wasn't me. We did 139 transactions. Last year we did 165, and this year we basically, one of the things Lars taught us to do was take your MLS volume and break it down per month to show how much of the volume in your MLS is done per month. So we projected forward with that off what our agents are doing now, and we have very new agents. We have no experience on our team. The longest buyer specialist we had was with us last July. So none of these buyer specialists have been with us for even a year yet. So projecting the last 2 months, we will close 210 buy sides. And if we don't do any more listings, which we're going to because our numbers are way up, we will close 75 listings. So if all holds, we will break the 300 mark. My goal is 250. And I think we're going to blow that out of the water. My ultimate goal is 300. And you got to remember, I'm in Kalispell, Montana. So, I mean, it's not that big. I mean, there's not many people up here. I'm sure most of the people that are going to be watching this video have no clue where the heck that's at. So there are 700 agents in our marketplace. We're considering our size, the amount of agents we have, and what we're doing, we're dominating. I mean, period, paragraph. So I can't wait to see what the end of 2015 looks like. So, but we should easily clear 200 transactions, and then I think we'll be closer to 250.
Okay, so you mentioned a few things that you felt were weaknesses in your business, or at least things to work on when you reached out to him. Did he notice anything that you didn't expect that you started to implement right away?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he called us out on a lot of things, and that's what I like is, he's going to tell you the way it is, not what you want to hear. So then that's what I like in a coach. So one of the big things was our tracking sucked. He was huge on tracking, and we don't have all of his tracking things in place yet, but we have a lot of them, and it's totally a game changer. Our agents didn't respect our leads. He's got a lead management policy in place, and I think that was probably the biggest thing that we've gotten at this point is how to talk to your leads, how to communicate with them, and everybody knows the rules. So there's no question that way. So yeah, and he had to stop doing a few things that were wasting money too. I mean, our actual spend per month has went down more than what Lars costs. So basically, Lars for us is free at this point. So he's not free, we're paying him, but for what we pay Lars, he has saved more than that in our expenses every month.
Okay. Okay, so how is Lars's coaching different than anything that you've experienced in the past?
Squirreling and shiny objects. Every coaching event I've been to, every coach I've hired, they're all looking for that next thing to do. And Lars isn't about that. I mean, I think he says go deep, go wide instead of going wide. So rather than spend your money on a bunch of different systems, you get really, really good at a few systems, and your conversion goes up, your costs go down, your net profit goes up. I mean, it's perfect. And the way his website is structured and his training is it's step by step. I've never had a coach that methodical and that well laid out as far as what to do first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. It's not a franchise, but it's a lot like a franchise to me because of the training and the way you do it. Everybody does it the same way, and it works. I mean, it works really good. I mean, the only limitation to me and the only reason we're not further right now is I spent 3 months basically laying on my back waiting for surgery. So I've really only had 3 months of what I would say maybe 4 months of actual good implementation time with large systems. So pretty good return, to say the least.
Yeah. So how has this affected your personal life outside of the business? I'm sure you have stories of that, with the back surgery and everything.
Well, my wife was actually bummed after surgery because I was going to go back to work. So I guess that's a good thing. She's not sick of me yet. How she's not sick of me, I have no idea. But no, it's incredible. I mean, I'm not essentially bound by a schedule to do. I can work the way I like to work and be creative and do the things that I really love to do in the business. And spending that time with family is part of that. Going for walks every day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 7 o'clock at night. Actually, I have a 15-month-old. I get to see her. She even knows my name. So, and I know traditional real estate's you don't get that. It's funny because I listen to a lot of agents talk about the things they'd love to get and like their plans for the next few years and the things that they really want to have in their business. And I go, wow, I've already got that. That's incredible. And I can't tell you. So I'm totally blessed. So it's a complete different world. So I could talk about this for hours. I mean, I spend as much or more time with my wife and kids than I do at the office. And I know there's very few agents that say that. And I made great money last year, and we're going to make far better money this year. And my agents are making more money than the average agent around here by far. So everybody wins. It's impossible not to. One of my buyer specialists that was licensed in October, she got her license last October. She's on pace right now to do 55 transactions this year. So, and I mean, that's stupid numbers when you look at the average and what they do. So, but the systems are there. She's following it. You can train her. So, incredible. So,
Yeah. All right. So what would you say to someone who's maybe on the fence about working with Lars?
well, heard this comment several times. I've heard it said two different ways. One way is you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And the other is show me your 5 closest friends and I'll tell you your future. So unless you have some sort of an arsenal that I don't know about out there, I don't know why you wouldn't. So do something different and invest in yourself, invest in your business, because you're not going to figure it out on your own. And if you do, it's going to take you a lot longer and it's going to cost you a lot more money than hiring somebody that's already done it.
All right. So what does success on this program look like to you if we were maybe sitting here in a couple of years?
Well, it'll probably be next year the way it's going, so that's cool. In my market, because we're so small, I'd like to do 300 sides a year. That's my goal, and have extremely good net profit. I'm going to keep that number to myself. I apologize for that. And I'd like my agents to make twice the average of any of the agents locally, take home pay, along with having a life. So it's basically a place where everybody wants to go to work, where everybody makes a lot of money, and I don't have to be in here every day doing sales. I can actually work on helping and training these guys. So that's success. 300 transactions a year, along with everybody, for lack of a better term, fat, dumb, and happy.
All right, great. Now that's all the questions I got for you. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I just say thanks, Lars. I really appreciate it. I wish I could send a van over there, a creeper van, and kidnap him and bring him back to my market and not let him out of here. It's probably amazing what would happen in the next couple of weeks or months. But for right now, that's it. I hope that helps, and I would strongly suggest you sign up with Lars. I mean, if you have any indication to get out of bed and make your life better every day, you're not going to get hurt for it. It's going to make you a better person. It's going to definitely make you a more productive, more successful agent, and someday have a really good business.